Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wolf Quest 3. And we are here with our Generation 3 Dark Moon Heir Basil, as he is waking up from yet another long nap, trying to lick his wounds, mostly the wounds that he got from trying to bite off more than he could chew with a rather strong elk, and also the wounds that he got being bitten all over by a cougar that he was trying to steal a kill from. And also the emotional wounds of having been humiliatingly chased away from the Junction Butte Pack territory last time, after he tried to, take a nap to not die, because he was, one bite or one trip away from dying. And thankfully, we're no longer, one bite away from dying, but we are extremely hungry, and Basil is not able to go ahead and actually heal unless we get more food in our stomach. And for Basil, our poor little rotund boy, who's very sweet, very shy, wants to avoid stranger wolves, nothing is worse in his life than an empty stomach. He hates an empty stomach even more than he hates humiliation. So we're gonna go ahead and try to find him something to eat. I'm a little nervous about the idea of trying to hunt an elk in this condition, so we're just gonna take whatever we can find, even those very boring empty calories of nibbling some bunnies, because Basil is just starving. He just wants something at this point. So let's go ahead and follow his nose. A cow elk carcass! Oh, you have no idea how badly we need a carcass right now. Alright, somewhere down here, there might be a carcass, which means we won't even have to do the hunting, and we can just get straight to the eating. And that is something that Basil cares a lot about. He really just loves the eating of food. So even if he didn't hunt it himself, he doesn't care, because, you know, if he doesn't have to hunt it, that's like 1 second sooner that he can just go ahead and eat. But, oh yes! Mule deer! Not what he would normally hunt, but we'll take it if we need to. Alright, let's try this one. It looks small and tasty, but that just means we'll eat the whole thing. It is a mule deer fawn! Oh, thank goodness! We might be able to, ouch! We might be able to actually get something solid to eat for once. Normally, Basil would be in the mood to try to eat the parent because he very much enjoys having a full meal. But considering he's still sore and bruised, we'll just have to take what we can get. Alright, I'm watching you, little fawn. Let's catch our breath for a minute. Here we go. Try to avoid being kicked to death by the mother this time. Poor thing. Sorry, mule deer fawn. But Basil, I legitimately thought this was going to be the end of the Dark Moon pack, at least with his lineage. It's almost like he survived that deadly disease in childhood just to go ahead and almost die as an adult at every turn. Like with everything we're trying to do. He really needs a stronger hunter as his mate, you guys. We need to find a mate who's a really good hunter. Because Basil gets so focused on the food. What is he, like just a punching bag for hooves? Alright, wait for the mom to get ahead just a little bit more. And move. We've got to be more patient. Basil has no patience when it comes to, getting access to his food. And I'm really worried that that habit of his is going to end up killing him at this rate. Alright, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wait for mom to get a little bit further away from baby. And then, another chomp. Oh, we're so close to dinner. Sorry, dear mom. Alright, she's bounding ahead. Ouch! Oh my gosh. I can't believe how close he comes every time. And she should start bounding further ahead of her baby soon. So close! Come on! Come on, kid! I know you want to live, but so does Basil. Oh, food! Finally. Like, the struggle to survive is so intense with this wolf, I swear. Basil, look this way. There we go. Oh, look at him! He almost looked like he had his little tongue sticking out, like, blah, being a little derp. It's so fun to have shifted from his very powerful, very aggressive, very severe mother, Parsley, who, like, was infamous for actually killing any stranger wolves that she needed to be able to protect her pups, to actually working with Basil, who is much more timid. Poor guy. He just needs his stomach to be filled up. And he's having such a harder time finding any elk to be able to hunt. Like, Demeter's, she's like ready. She's already figured out, like, you know, I can hunt. I can go ahead and maybe find a mate. And then we've got little Basil, who is now, once again, extremely beat up and sore. And we're going to have him. And his stomach isn't even 100% full, which is just even more of a tragedy in his eyes. But we're going to go ahead and sleep off this latest fight behind this rock that he believes is, like, providing enough protection. Oh, he snuck. Good job, Basil. There's a little chunk of meat left. All right. Of course he would have run off with, like, a scrap, and I didn't even notice. And we'll let him get a little bit more sleep now. Hopefully he will gain enough health that we can try risking a fight with a wounded elk soon. There's a bunch of great dispersal females who were roaming around and hunting last time, so there's hope that eventually... All right, no, you go right back to sleep, Basil. You need to get all the health back you can. Oh, and I hear the other wolves howling in the distance. So there's a chance that Basil will actually run into, like, a female wolf who will be a good huntress. He really needs the help at this point. He's too sweet for his own good. All right, almost there. An empty stomach is something he hates, but we're going to try napping one more time because the last couple times we have tried to go on a big hunt, it was that tiny little bit of difference in health that actually drove us off. And this time, we're going to be a lot more selective and really look for the wounded and the weak. All right, so let's see what we've got. Stranger wolves again, but there's also the squirrel tail herd. That sounds yummy. And bunnies! Normally we would ignore the existence of these rabbits entirely. However, we're getting a little bit desperate for all sorts of food. So we'll follow this trail for just a second. There does seem to be a rabbit ahead, unless these coyotes already caught it. There we go. I'm thinking the coyotes managed to catch it. Oh, and there's some bison nearby. All right, there's a fox, and the rabbit trail has gone. I think the fox got it for sure, because the rabbit trail has actually gone cold. Oh, there's a moose. Now that is a meal. That is something that Basil would not mind being able to go ahead and eat. He loves big game like that. Phew, but all right, so now that we have gone ahead and for just a minute we have been able to survive the experience of having gotten so, like, tangled up and lost. Let's see, there's some territory scent packs, there's some bison. Basil would love to have some bison, but we're gonna go ahead and try to find, not mule deer, we need to find some elk. Let's push our way a little deeper. Oh, it's another moose! A male and female moose, maybe making more meese. And then let's go ahead and we're gonna search a little deeper into the territory. Mule deer, which would be delicious to eat. And there's the territory markers. There's a lot of moose in the area for some reason. And we'll erase this territory marker, not because we're like, rawr, take over territory, but because Basil's very shy and he figures if he can cover up the tracks, the scent trails, he can throw... Yay! Now he can go ahead and throw the junction buttes off his tail for just a little bit longer. Look at this moose! Moose are not exactly what we were looking for, and we don't want to fight with the grizzly bear again. Why grizzly bears have... Oh, there we go, that's what we're looking for! Elk! Why grizzly bears have it in for our poor boy Basil, I don't know. But, like, every big predator seems to think that, like, all Basil wants is, like, a fight. And all he wants is food. He just wants to have a full stomach at the end of the day, that's all. Alright. So there's the elk herd. The willow herd. I bet he... Oh, and a bison! Oh, the mix of those scents is just going to make him absolutely, like, drool. Alright, here we go. There's elk calves. So even though he would want a big kill... There they are! Food! Oh, noms. Tasty noms. Alright, let's try biting a few of them. Give him an exploratory nibble. Okay, okay. This cow elk is kind of weak. And she's actually getting a lot weaker, a lot faster than I thought she would. So we're gonna hold on to her. We've got dinner! Come on, Basil, you can do this! You're behind your cousin Demeter so far on being able to, like, get a mate and everything. Because she's just... Demeter just, like, walked in, strolled into Amethyst Mountain. Like, practically just blinked at the elk and they were falling down around her. And now Basil... That's right, boy, you've got it! Huh, okay. Now Basil needs a chance to be able to prove himself as a hunter so that we can go ahead and try to get a mate for him too. Alright, we'll close in a little bit on the elk. Here we go. I think we've got this one. We just need to be patient. He's learning patience even though his empty stomach normally drives him to distraction. And we'll go ahead and chase her down a little bit. Yes, thank you, tree. We're slowing her down. Whew, and he really does need to have a mate to help out with this too. Alright, patience, Basil, patience. Get a little bit more of that health back. Good job, buddy. Alright, alright. I'm just waiting for him to get, like, attacked by the Junction Butte pack again. But to be fair, the Junction Butte pack were really patient with him because that older wolf just basically had his nose up against Basil's tail and didn't bite once, hardly even howled to threaten us. Ah, Basil, watch out. Oh geez, I can hear howling. Hurry, Basil, hurry. We really need this kill without running into anybody else. We really, really need this kill. Okay, watch out. You're getting, like, in a boxing fight with this elk. Oh my gosh, she's really kicking him bad. We're gonna have to try to be a little bit... Move, Basil! A little bit more cautious there. Alright, good. She's limping. We really need to finish this fight. Fill up our stomachs and get out of this territory. Alright, wait for it. Eep. Okay, wait for it. You don't want to get killed by your prey. Oh, she's a fighter too. Oh, there we go, there we go. Come on, Basil, come on, you're so close. It's going to be a competition between who can last this very last little bit. Almost, almost. Watch out for her kicking. Come on, come on. Oh my gosh, it's so painful to watch. Because you also want the poor elk just to have it over for the elk soon too. Oh, finally! Victory! If we didn't want to fill up our stomachs so badly, I would have Basil go ahead and howl about that. Hola! Okay, thankfully, we can go ahead and definitely fill up our stomachs now. And then get a chunk of meat and be able to run off with this. Wow, look at how big this cow elk is compared to the other things we've been eating. Basil can just go ahead and he can, like, nom all he wants on this. This is excellent. But we definitely need to go ahead and move south a bit to be able to get out of here. And then once again, let Basil sleep off all of his bumps and bruises. But my friends, that puts him 1 of 2 elk killed. And then when he wakes up next time, we will go ahead and hunt down another elk, hopefully, without dying, hopefully, and no more drama happening. And then slowly but surely making it so that we can start searching for a mate, maybe a perfect 4-star mate even, who can really help Basil out with all of the unexpected trials and tribulations that he has in his life. He's just gonna sleep behind this little tree with his tiny little chunk of meat to nibble. But alright guys, if you guys could, do please leave a like for our poor, soft, squishy boy Basil. He's having a much harder time of this than his cousin Demeter. And if you guys would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!